Sure.
We'll get you tonight.
David didn't even bring me a cake tonight.
I didn't know.
No, you brought your own people.
That's right.
I
Good
didn't know.
celebration, yeah.
I swear I didn't know it. I swear I didn't know it.
You told me.
No, y'all don't.
You had too many fires put out today.
Happy birthday.
I took care of Mr. Mitch today.
Yeah, that's what me and him was talking about. He said, be in good shape.
I told him thank y'all.
We went mowing in District 5 today.
Clint bogged everything.
Yeah, it's wet, yeah.
Everybody stand, we'll get started. David, you lead some prayer and pledge.
Everyone outside, does everybody get to be a part of it?
Yep, I mean, they have an opportunity to speak if they want to sign in.
Yeah.
But to be a part of the meeting?
They can sign in and
So
speak.
anyone that wants to speak needs to sign?
Yes, they have to sign in.
Only on non-agenda items.
Okay, but they
Yeah.
won't be able to participate in the meeting.
No, yeah.
Let's be safe.
This is all we got.
This is it, right here.
Don't we need a different, bigger place?
Well, we probably do, but we don't have one now. No, ma'am, we'll work it out somewhere tonight. David, you want to do your prayer and pledge?
May we pray. Heavenly Father, we're so grateful tonight to be able to stand in your presence. Father, we know that there is concerned folks here tonight, and there's concerned people across the great United States of America. And Lord, we just ask you to just let everything be in the center of your will. Let every decision made tonight, anything that's deliberated and discussed, Father, we just ask that you would be in the presence of each decision. Lord, we pray for those that's sick in body tonight. We pray for those that's in harm's way, in conflicts. We pray that you would keep a merciful hand upon their lives. Bless these men that you bestowed in these positions, and we give you praise, honor, and glory tonight in the most famous and the most precious name ever spoken, and that's Jesus. And everyone said, Amen. Salute pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome back, Becky. Sorry for the inconvenience with the room. We'll go ahead and get started, though, with the meeting. I'll adopt the agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions? If none at this time, do you hear a motion to adopt the agenda?
The only thing I would like to request is move item number, under Mr. Stafford Data Center discussion to number 1 on the agenda.
Well,
That's the only change to the agenda I would like to
make
ask.
it before the non-agenda.
Okay, let's place it before the non-agenda item and after adopting previous minutes, so we can go ahead and take care of that item immediately.
All right, you make the motion.
I make that motion.
Is there a second? Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? How's the vote?
Yes.
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 Yes. All righty, adopt the previous minutes. This is a regular session, May 19th, 2026.
So moved.
Now I have a motion on the floor. To hear a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? How's the vote?
Yes.
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 At this time, we're going to move the data center discussion up to this there because of the audience and people having to stand. So, Mr. Stafford, would you like to go ahead and this was under you?
I will. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask council if he would to please read over our moratorium ordinance and just hit the high, not read it completely, Nate, but just
Yes, sir.
hit the high spots, please.
Okay. But as y'all know, this is a moratorium, and this is a very big discussion that's been brought to the board's attention. And what this is just a simple moratorium that's going to put a temporary ban, 1-year ban, until the county can get their feet under them. I'm going to read the heading of the ordinance and then read through a few of the first few paragraphs, especially the portions of the Florida statutes that govern this item of discussion. So the ordinance that's being proposed currently, this is an ordinance of the Board of County Commissioners of Holmes County, Florida. This is establishing a temporary moratorium on the acceptance, processing, review, and issuance of development applications, development orders, development permits, building permits, and other county approvals for large-scale data centers and large load customer facilities within the unincorporated area of Holmes County. We're going to provide for findings, provide for definitions, provide for applicability, provide for exceptions, providing for vested rights and hardship relief, directing county staff to review and prepare a comprehensive plan, which we already are, and land development code amendments, providing that the ordinance does not regulate matters within the jurisdiction of the Florida Public Service Commission, and providing for severability, providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date. What governs this particular item of discussion is Florida Statute 163.326. As y'all know, the Board of County Commissioners has authority to regulate this particular area. We do have, with this particular item of discussion, this is concerning large-scale data centers and large load facilities that require significant and continuous electrical demand, water supply, cooling infrastructure, wastewater capacity, stormwater infrastructure, backup generation, fuel storage, fire protection, emergency response planning, security infrastructure, and related public facilities and services. So what this, essentially this ordinance is going to do is give y'all time to sit back, get our feet under us, let us see what the state's going to do, research this topic further, but put a halt essentially on data centers making applications at this point within Holmes County.
Very good.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question for the attorney. Once this moratorium goes in, what's the length of it? Do you have it set for?
We have it 1 year from the date of final approval, so there'll be 2 public hearings after this.
For a permanent ordinance, is that correct?
Yes, sir. For this particular ordinance.
For this particular. Now, to go ahead and stop it in the tracks with a permanent ordinance, we would have to do that while this moratorium's in place. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
correct?
Y'all have that ability to, again, I would show deference to our planner. I know John Feeney is our county engineer. He's very educated on this. We've both been researching Senate Bill 180, also Senate Bill 484, which there's a lot of layers to this onion, and there's a lot that we are still learning about. Y'all do have authority to put this moratorium and do have authority to put a permanent ban, but we would like to work with Alara and John, which we are going to have to update our land development regulation, our comprehensive plan. Now's the time to do it now that it's open. But even if y'all put in this temporary moratorium, we can address a more permanent ban in the future if that's something y'all desire to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mr. Stafford, did you start for you?
No, I'm good with all of that. I know we all here basically for the same reason, but, and I yield back to you, Mr. Chairman, if you want to see if there's anybody in favor, if there's not anybody in favor of this, in favor of the data centers, I'm ready to make a motion and move forward.
For not having it in this building?
Hold on just a minute, I'll answer that question for you. So what you're saying is you're ready to,
I'm ready to make the motion, but let's stop this data center, but I don't, if there's somebody here in favor of a data center, if you want to let them speak, but if there's not, yes, I'd like to make the motion that we move on with it and let's kill it.
at this time, I'm just gonna ask the audience, is there anybody that here that'd like to speak in favor of the data center?
Anybody in favor of the data center, step forward.
Hey, that got answered, didn't it? All right, let me just ask the audience at this time. We have a lot of people here. And if everybody speaks, what I'm saying is there's going to be 2 ordinances on this thing. There'll be 2 public hearings after this to finalize it. There has to be 2 public hearings. So at this time tonight, if the people, everybody here, everybody understand, if we let some speak and then we go ahead and take the vote, would it be satisfactory to the people? I mean, I know everybody wants to speak.
Take a vote.
Yeah, I think as long as it's no, we move on with it.
Yeah, and if everybody's in favor, we'll go ahead and take the vote and we'll go on with it.
Vote now and get it over with.
Yes.
Can I say something, Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Mears, come to the podium and state your name, and I hate to ask you that with crowd, but
Hi, my name's Terry Mears. I live at 18448 Adolph Whitaker Road, Bonfay, Florida. And I'm asking you to propose a moratorium that we abolish it completely. Not but a 1 year and I understand what he's saying, but we can have we can stop it tonight, and we can still have votes on it at a future time. But I think that we need to go ahead and put a stop to this tonight.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mears.
Mr. Chairman, can I say something?
Yes.
I spoke water management this evening, Mr. Lyle Ziegler over our water management district. Our county don't even, it don't even meet the water flow for one to even come into the county. So I mean, if people even wanted one to come into the county, was for it or whatever, we're not even set up for it. Our water flow, our transmissivity, the water flow in the ground, it's not there. The only county in the Panhandle district that would even qualify that they would even be looking at is Leon County. So our county, nobody's going to be looking at Holmes County to put a data center in.
So then kill it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, well, okay, can I just, everybody's done their research, I'm sure, about what it's talking about, but here's the thing is, and we know how that can change, at a drop of a bucket.
Well, can you change the water flow?
We can change it, okay, yeah, you can change that, okay?
Okay,
They do that all the time. You see them do away with, cypress knees, the water, management area can go in and change all that if they decide to. Okay? Now, what I'm saying is, that's not the only concern. They also have already looked at the property over there in Westville. Did you know that?
Well, water management, I talked to them, they've been no inquiry or no permit.
Okay, well,
There's no land in Westfield. It has a Westfield address, but it joins Walton County.
Okay.
It backs up to the line of
It
Walton
does
County.
join Walton County. We
Yeah.
got somebody from Okaloosa County that they're already moving forward with it. They stopped it in Jackson County for 1 year already.
Yeah.
Okay? We don't need to kick this bucket down the road. And
Well, I don't think, Harry, that this board is going to kick the bucket.
Oh, I know.
But I think what we're going to do is we're going to have to do what's legal.
I agree with that.
In case something comes up on down the road.
Right, and if we start doing that, then here's the thing, we need to do our own independent research, and we also need to put guarantee bonds out there on these. If they don't live up to their expectations, and it does do some of this stuff, then they can be fined, okay, because we know how we can get in a lot of trouble by signing contracts that are not contracts in this county.
Exactly right.
And so we need to make sure that when we get ready to do this, and I choose to live here because I can live here, and I want to live here. And so I'm going to continue to live here, and I'm going to continue to have the right to hunt and fish and make sure I raise my grandchildren in a setting, in a community that are make sure that we protect our natural resources. And I don't think anybody in this room here would disagree with me. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
With that being said, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to make the motion to approve the proposed data center moratorium ordinance and the business impact statement as presented, and to set the first public hearing for the 9 o'clock meeting, June the 16th, for further public comments.
All right.
And that's my motion.
No, bigger facility.
That ain't okay.
Oh,
Works.
well, we got public hearing at 9. You want to change that and just have it at 9?
It's just going to prolong it. I mean, we change the meeting tonight, but let's do it on the 16th.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, do you recognize a fellow elected official county commissioner from Walton County, please, sir?
Yes.
Thank you.
May I speak?
Yes, come on. State your name, if you don't mind.
You don't make this for tall people.
I'll fix it for you.
I appreciate you guys giving me a few minutes. I just want to make sure when we're talking about a moratorium, because there's so much back and forth that you can do a moratorium, you can't do a moratorium because of SB 180 and all these other things. I want to make sure that for myself in Walton County, that we're trying to close every back door that can be opened. Be it a resolution, be it a moratorium, be it an ordinance. I think we're taking the route of doing an ordinance on an emergency type basis, along with an addition resolution that propose that any entity getting any kind of funding from the county is defunded if they're doing anything with any data centers. If they're negotiating, if they're doing anything behind closed doors and we find out about it, their funding from the county is stopped. So I just want to make sure if we're going the moratorium route, because you're hearing this back and forth, even our own attorney in Walton County stated you can't do a moratorium. So I'm not second guessing you, sir, whatsoever. I just want to make sure all the bases are covered and we're not putting all our chips on red, and red ain't no good.
Exactly.
So I appreciate your time. I think we need to be unified together in North Florida, and whatever we do, we stick together on this and show that we are unified.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner. Mr. Curry. You know, that's actually was my agenda when I put the data center discussion on on this board agenda. I put it on last Thursday. Well, then that realtor got it and it went haywire, but that was what I put it on there for, was to follow up after what Clay brought back to y'all. Because I know he's gonna bring something that's gonna stick.
Yes.
He is. Clay.
And that's why I wanted to bring something to follow up with it, because then we found out, I was kind of ridiculed for saying that, but then 2 days later we found out that data center was knocking on the EDA's back door, and we didn't know about it. And then under these NDAs, they can hide it from you for a year.
Yeah.
Oh, they can.
So we can't have that. If you're going to be transparent, be transparent. You can't be a little pregnant. You're pregnant or you're not.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Chairman.
You need to do the 3-minute rule, since they do it now.
All right, we got a 3-minute rule on this now.
There's no problem. I won't even.
And I'll tell everybody, not just you.
I'll take 3 minutes.
You better tell me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My concern is not just the data center, which is a big deal, but also solar farms. Because solar farms are not thought of as being hazardous, but there's a lot of hazardous waste created by solar farms. Solar farms ruin the soil under which they lie because of the water runoff and the hazardous chemicals that are used in the manufacturing process. So I would ask to piggyback solar farms in addition to data centers on the moratorium until you can learn more about the cause and effect from the solar farms as well, because that's equally as important. When I was talking about solar farms, you go down I-10, you go over by Tallahassee Airport, solar farm all around there. Go over towards Lake City, there's a 700-800 acre solar farm over there. Used to be a farm. That will never be able to be farmed again for 100 years because of the runoff. So it's a concern. It damages everything. So I would like to see you add solar farms to, or do a separate moratorium on solar farms. And when you have your public hearings, let's see if we can have it at Bonifay K8 or somewhere in their auditorium.
Where everybody can get in.
We didn't have time to re-advertise to read this year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
My name is Margie Butts. I live right next door. They were proposing to put this data center. So thank you, Commissioner Mitch, for answering when I called you. Thank you, Commissioner Wilmer, for promptly returning my call. I first called Commissioner Wellenberg, who serves the district I own multiple properties in. I never got a call back. I guess you were busy. So was I, researching and getting the word out about this meeting and what's at hand. I learned about it yesterday morning about 9 o'clock when I called you. There's about 160 acres for sale, a quarter of a mile by my house. The realtor out there is out of St. Petersburg. He has it listed as approved for an ADI data center and a solar farm. And that's illegal for him to advertise a lie. So it makes me wonder, who approved it. So from my understanding, the Planning and Zoning Department is contracted out of the county to a consultant group that has no loyalty or concern for our residents. This is not okay. Do they have authority to accept and approve applications for our county, on our county's behalf? And how much do we pay them? Because I'm sure that they charge enough that we could probably pay a salary to somebody locally. This affects us all, whether you live close by or not. Many people are already getting new wells, having to have them drilled due to the water table dropping, and this will drastically reduce available water in Northwest Florida. Most likely, our treasured springs, rivers, and lakes as well. Also, the extra heat and the radiation, which comes from data centers and the solar. The noise that goes on for miles and miles beyond the data center location that will damage our health and property values. Once it's here, you can't get rid of it, and the damage is done forever to our citizens, our animals, food, and way of life. The massive infrastructure required from the electric company to build and maintain will absolutely be passed on to us as well. Doesn't matter what DeSantis did. No matter what they say, what the law says, they will repackage it as fees for something else and will still foot the bill. So don't be fooled. If this county actually lets a data center in, it won't stop them. They'll continue. The next one may be in your backyard. I'm worried that while we are waiting, it gives the billionaires or trillionaires time to buy votes. I mean, money is like a good thing, so I just hope it doesn't happen. It's not everything. I beg you all, please do not sell us out while we're waiting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Buck.
Hi, I'm Jordan Sammons. I'm on Highway 179. And I was actually looking for some further clarification on the memorandum that's being proposed and if there's a logistical reason as far as planning and propositions go for that 1-year deadline. If we could get some more further clarification on the current policy that is being proposed, as well as the deadline and the reason for that being what it is. If we could get just some more information on that as well.
All right. Nate, you want to go?
Mr. Chairman? Yes, sir. And we appreciate the concern, and this is real. One of the reasons why we did the moratorium, and to Mr. Erickson's point, even though y'all passed this, y'all can come right in a month later and pass a more permanent ban. The issue is this is happening very fast. We don't want to rush any law into place without a thorough understanding of it. There was some concern from our county engineer, our planner, that to Commissioner and our sister county's point, and other attorneys that we've corresponded with, is a moratorium the appropriate form at this point due to Senate Bill 180. It more or less restricted counties from passing legislation preventing certain centers after post-hurricane relief movements that's in Senate Bill 180, subparagraph 1. So that was more geared toward hurricane-affected areas, preventing people coming back and sweeping legislation when they can't build back. So there's a little bit of confusion there. But what this is going to do is give us a temporary ban and for us, sister counties, to work together on how to prevent a more permanent ban and do it the legal way, because these companies that are coming in, they're going to have a lot of money. They're going to have high power
So this is not you guys
attorneys.
trying to kick the can down the line.
No,
This
no.
is trying to come up with a permanent solution.
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
Hey, are you representing Jackson County too?
No, sir. No, sir.
Did you have something to say?
Yeah.
You come on, state your name at the podium. Look, I'm just, what I'm doing right now, we have not got to the agenda items to sign out. What I'm doing now is just letting a few speak on it so that we can go ahead and take a vote and see where it goes with it.
Vote's been called for, the meeting's out of order.
No, well, we're in discussion right now.
Vote's been called for.
No, the question has not been called. There was a motion and a second.
Oh, okay, never did get that.
I'm Barry Crone. I live on 2460 Bearfield Lane. I come from an area where, in Northern Virginia, where these data centers exist, and they exist in a huge, huge way. And they don't bring jobs. They raise your electric bill. They lower your water pressure, and they have a huge impact on the area because they're just these big monolith buildings. My suggestion, I agree with the moratorium, but you can stop them by saying a data center cannot be bigger than 2 acres. Okay, if you have a zoning ordinance where it can't be bigger than 2 acres, then you stop them altogether. I mean, it's real simple. Then you could still have edge data centers, which are these little tiny parking lot space things. But an edge data center would help the community. These big monolith buildings would drain our water, drain our electricity. But if you guys just pass an ordinance or a zone ordinance that a data center cannot be bigger than 2 acres, that ends the argument.
None at all.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it a half an acre, a quarter of an acre. That way.
Next to each other. None
Hey,
at all.
hey, listen, hold on.
But
Let him get through speaking.
But you can space them out, you can make it, but you can make it so that there's no chance that a data center could ever be here. I mean, if you say it's an acre, that way they can't say they didn't have the opportunity to build one. You know, you didn't push it, this way we're pushing it down the road for a year. Bay County pushed it down the road for 6 months. We'll keep rolling the boulder down the road. But a zoning ordinance that data centers cannot be bigger than an acre, 2 acres, that ends these monolithic things, you know, that we don't need. We don't have the structure for it. We don't have the ability to do it. This county doesn't. You know, people don't need bigger bills. They don't need higher electric bills, less water pressure. You know, they don't need these huge buildings with the humming noise and all that. They say, I come from an area where they exist. And they exist in a large scale, and they're huge and they're cumbersome, and they affect everybody in the county.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Your house.
My name is Edway Casey. I live at 2197 Josie Road, Bonifay, Florida. I came here from an agricultural community up north where I retired from a major utility, one of the biggest in the nation. And I first came here because I moved from an agricultural community to a place where I wanted to remain in such an environment, because I worked for a company, a utility in Detroit, that basically became a large utility and didn't really care about the people of the community. And that's what these data centers, that's what they represent to me. Someone said something about 2 acres, half acre. Well, if you just buy a bunch of land and you put a half acre, 2 acre right next to each other, you got the same thing, basically. These claims that the data center is not going to be hooked up to a local utility, that's a falsehood. It has to be. I don't care how big of a solar array you have, it is not capable of producing the megawatt hours that this facility is going to need. And when you attach it to a local utility, those rates are going to go up for the rate payers. And the big money putting these things in, they've got the money to do that. But they're also going to put in these wells that are going to draw from our water table. And like the waste management personnel here, or commissioner says here, I used to do that. That was my specialty for the utility, was wastewater management, wastewater treatment, and also water intake from the Great Lakes to power or to cool our power plants. And they say it's a closed loop system. Let me tell you, from operating in a nuclear environment and in coal burner power plants and in gas fired power plants, there is no such thing as a closed loop environment, even in a nuclear power facility. It's basically you draw water from the Great Lakes, we did, to cool the nuclear power plant, the facility or the instruments inside the power plant. There's no such thing. The radioactive side of it, yeah, that was closed until something happens and you have a leak, which happened in 1993 for Fermi 2 power plant, which I worked at, when there was a basic release of contaminants into Lake Erie. Now, what's going to happen with the water that they draw from the wells? They got a water treatment system, and what water treatment system is 100% efficient and 100% infallible? There is none. This is what we got to do, we've got to think about, and I say we ban it permanently regardless. That's it. No data centers in Holmes County. This can't turn out to be like other incidents that happened where the community wasn't asked or wasn't, information was sought from the community.
At this time, could I ask you to close on?
Yes, that's all I had to say. You know, something's happened before where the community wasn't asked and something was done, and it turned into a boondoggle.
All right.
I've
Thank
spoken
you.
to the commissioners about that.
All right.
I'm Nathan Forrester, live at 1455 Reddick Mill Road, and Graceville address, but a Holmes County address. My question is there a plan? Is there something that we're considering?
Well, what we're considering right now is the moratorium. We'll have two full years.
Has anybody proposed a project here?
No, we haven't, because we have just, when this came up the last 2 or 3 days.
This was all started on false information from a realtor who had left a ban from us ever fooling with again before it's over with. But, yes, this is
It doesn't last 48 hours.
Yeah, this happened Sunday night.
Yeah.
Who's bringing it up? What company is proposing or thinking about?
There's not a company proposing it. There's not been an application. We just wanted to put a stop to it before it got to that point.
More power to you.
He had, let him speak just, man. He had.
Thank you, Mr. Staff and Commissioners. My name's Warren Whitaker. I live in Walton County, just across the line where this is possibly going to affect. First off and foremost, let me say to you, aquifers have no county line, okay? So if you even allow it in Holmes County, it's going to affect Walton County. Because, you know, Lake Cassidy's half in Walton and half in Holmes over there, as we both know. If you put it down at Vortex Springs, because that's the only deepest well you have in this county that can actually handle the water flow, guess where that water's going to go? It's going to go on down to Ponce de Leon Springs, folks. You're not going to be able to swim there eventually. They use coolants in these things. I'd like to point out a couple. I have a question first, Mr. Nathan.
Yes, sir.
And this is through one of your other people who didn't want to get up here and speak. He wants to know, has any NDA been signed by any commissioner or anyone in this room
No,
as
sir.
of right now?
No, sir.
No.
You good? Yeah. Thank you. Hey guys, I'm just, you know, I'm that kind of guy. So,
He knows my deal.
so let I tell you what, I had a bunch of notes here. I think everybody has brought a lot of stuff to the table tonight. I see a young lady with a family here. We had one of those at our Walton County Commissioners meeting when we started this. Kudos to Mr. Curry, because he tried to nail it down that day. And of course, there's always word salad, as you know, sir, being an attorney. And so he put the teeth back in it again, even though the other commissioner who brought it up didn't. All right, that being said, if you want to deal with this, either negatively, if you want to approve it or don't approve it, you need to take a trip and go to Fayetteville, Georgia, Fayetteville County. They already have one. People are leaving that town left and right, leaving that county. Number one, for the noise, their low water pressure. Now, I know this is going to be on the well, but it's going to affect everybody. Every time they put a water line down to South Walton, people on Rock Hill, Walton County, have to go put another well in because they just lost their water again. Same thing is going to happen here. And I'd also like to tack in the water, and so the other thing is the noise that these things generate. They're constantly humming. You ever turn the computer on here, either the fans are blowing or it's humming, it's processing. These would just look at this as probably some of the largest house computers you've ever seen in your life. They complain about the fan noise, like I just said, backup generator testing, and then continuous 24-hour lights. Can you imagine? The people in Fayetteville, Georgia had to go out and buy blackout curtains, and they still weren't enough to go to sleep at night. You want the residents around this place? I don't. I wouldn't want to deal with that either. I don't think you gentlemen do either. I hope in my heart, and I believe that you don't want to deal with it. I would say probably if you did pass this and you let one in, it would be political suicide for all of us. But please, just make it permanent. Let's get it done, get it over with. Don't give them a loophole. You're a well enough attorney. I know you can find it. Because you know as well as I do, as good as your language is, somebody else is a better attorney and they're going to find that loophole.
You're right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm short. I spoke with Mr. Safford and David Corbin yesterday. I did try, Mr. Erickson, to curb some of it. My name is Nan Thompson. I'm actually from Washington County, but the Jackson County one that was trying to come in is 1.5 miles from my house. My question to you, Mr. Nolan, is State Bill 484 specifies large scale. Okay. what regulates large scale?
Could you repeat that question?
What regulates large scale? 85 acres? 100 acres?
Yes, ma'am. We have in here 50 acres or less, but what we're asking to do is just give us time. This has happened within 48 hours. Give us time to digest all this. We're going to put a permanent ban on there. We assure you that the best we can. We just want to make sure there's no loopholes. We got to read the legislation, and we got to make sure we're on the same point with the Florida Public Service Commission, with our sister counties, and we're all on the same page here. We're not trying to kick the can. We're trying to create a temporary moratorium until we can provide a more permanent ordinance, and that could happen within the next few weeks.
Yeah, because
yes, ma'am.
State bill just says
yes, ma'am.
large. So
yes, ma'am.
My question to you is one of the other gentlemen just up here is that the water runs from one end to the other. And if something were to come in to this county, our county, Walton County, to bring the other counties in, it doesn't affect one county.
That's right. We agree with that. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, you want to speak? Yes, ma'am. I'll get you next, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Joni Williamson. I'm your neighbor in Jackson County. We live in Graceville. I went to the meeting in Jackson County when they did their meeting, and they had a good turnout, and they had a lot of passionate people up there speaking. I think that you all want to do the right thing. I think that because you're from here and you have families and you treasure the area, you love living here too. You see the beautiful blessings that we have and the nature that's here. Our water is a resource that we cannot let anybody mess with. We need our water to be clean and safe, and we need our water to be here.
Yes.
We have a little farm.
Hold on just a minute. Could I ask if we could just cool it down and let the speaker speak? All right, now go ahead.
We are 3 generations of family living on a little farm in Graceville. We homeschool our kids. We do foraging on our own property. We have our own well with very good water in it. My husband delivers water for Artesia Water here in Bonifay, an over 60-year-old aquifer, very clean, very pure water. You have so much to lose, and I know you know this. I have a feeling that you're going to do the right thing. I think you're just trying to be legal about it. I just ask you, all I can ask you is to just be smart, be strong, stay with your morals. Don't let anybody talk you into something that you know you can't live with. Don't sell our souls. Don't sell our land. Don't sell our water.
Ma'am, did you?
I'm Audrey Joyner. We live on Bracken Road in Westville. To begin as objectively as possible, I would urge our government officials to consider if the AI data centers bring any positives to our community and make an honest assessment of what we support here in Holmes County. We should take great care in what we allow to enter our small but wonderful county, and that it is a positive influence on our culture and our safety. The primary positives of allowing data centers are really only positives for a select few. Other than possible tax revenue, there might be the temptation for certain individuals to personally benefit in order to allow these centers to be built. All tax money is not good money, as we saw from the Vortex Springs incident. People in support of the festival said we were ignorant to be concerned, but in the end, we were proved right. Being permissive is not the same as progress. It will not create jobs, safety, or better living conditions for our citizens. The negative impact from data centers is very concerning. I'm not going to go through that again because people have already said that many times, but they say within a 50-mile radius, at least, the radiation is a problem. One of our most precious assets given to us by God to steward is under siege, and that is our land. Something we cannot create more of, and that can be poisoned for generations. We already have a shortage of affordable homes for families, especially in Holmes County. Local families are being priced out of homes, a basic need, so that we can inflate property values and make big money from out-of-staters who have inflated income. How are young families from here supposed to keep up? Now we face data centers destroying our property value, so that even if we couldn't afford to stay, we could also not afford to leave.
Or if we do, we'll be forced to sell cheap so businesses can buy our properties for pennies and then rent them out to someone else. Locals who live in our area are here because for the most part, we want to have a quiet life and be left alone. But that doesn't mean we don't appreciate our community. We are comforted by the knowledge that together, we are a holdout for people who value a godly, moral society. Some mistake this quiet for ignorance. They think they can march in waving big money in their hands and have their way with us. Well, I am proud that our people are content to live simple lives and are not obsessed with chasing a dollar, unlike these parasites that consume everything. I hope you will prevent these data centers from ever entering our county. Our families matter, and their worth is not derived from their paycheck or their social status. It was created by God, who Silicon Valley stands in opposition to. If our own local government is willing to let this happen, it will send a clear message that the citizenry comes last. But I do trust that y'all have our best at heart, and please do, for all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Commissioner Captain, could I just redo your motion?
You can.
I'm sorry about that.
You can, sir. I'm gonna read it off this, and Nate, if I leave anything out, please correct me, but I want to make the motion to approve the proposed data center moratorium ordinance and the business impact statement as presented, and set the first public hearing for June the 16th, 6 o'clock p.m. for further public comment.
Yes.
I have a motion on the floor. Do you hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, I got one question. Nate, how hard would that to make that be permanent? Like an emergency ordinance like the commissioner was talking about from Walton County?
Yes, sir. Like I said, this has happened within the past 48 hours, and I'd be happy to present you another draft. You can have an emergency meeting if you wanted to. The purpose of this is to, let's see what Walton County's doing. Let me talk with Mr. Atkinson. Let me talk with Jackson County's attorney. Let's work together on this and present something that's solid, that we can stand behind, that's defensible. Because this isn't going away. We want to make sure we get it done the right way.
Well, let me ask, I'm going to put you on the spot. How long is it going to take to put a permanent one together? Can we have one by the next board meeting?
Yes, sir.
So we can have one by the next board meeting,
yes,
a permanent ordinance? With that being said, I'll be in favor of this. That would be great.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
Yes, sir.
No further discussion. How's the vote?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. And folks, we will have 2 public hearings on this, and we will have it at probably BK8. Am I right? Yeah. And everybody will get a chance to speak at those public hearings. Yes, ma'am.
A lot of people spent $4 a gallon gas to drive here to speak. You should let us speak.
And we understand that, and we're sorry, but with everybody standing up and everything, there will be a public hearing. You will get a chance to speak where everybody can sit down.
Well, this young lady has information here on where you can block them. She has this information.
She does multiple counties.
She does multiple counties and everything.
You don't go ahead.
I just want a quick thing. Y'all just did that for data centers, but the gentleman that was here before mentioned about solar as well. So can that be included in that? Can we redo that and make it with the solar with this one as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll do the...
Did you have, yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I just have a quick thing to say, is one thing that I'm worried about.
State your name, I'm sorry.
My name's Kenzie Cook. I'm from Okaloosa County. I came all the way out here to speak to you guys. So I have some concerns about the moratorium and even the ordinance itself. So the thing that I'm worried about is just like those solar farms that happened out in, I think, Walton or whatever, you know, they told them no, but then the state stepped in and put something in there because they were money hungry. So what I want to do is I want to pass an ordinance not only saying it's not welcome in this county, it's not, and I want to do it in every county in the Panhandle, say it's not welcome here. We don't want it here. And on top of that, I want to figure out a way to like basically block the state or tie the state's hands or tie the company's hands to where they don't want to build here, it's not attractive. So some of the ideas that I have, I don't know if this is possible, but you could possibly start thinking about this, is maybe pass an ordinance that bans anyone from like giving them water, bans anyone from giving them power. The power companies can't give them power. Bans people from like selling the land to a company. Something to where we cut off their, basically their like their ability to even do it. If they even put it in here, like then they can't operate it basically. Because like The thing is I know this has been said over and over and over again. Even if this one doesn't get put in in this county, the one over, like if this one gets put in here, we're messing with our neighbors as well, like our neighbors all around, because we all share the same water source here. So if we deplete that water source, we're depleting it not just for here, we're depleting it for everyone. And you know, like, I'm young. I'm going to see the full effects of this stuff. My kids are going to see the full effects of this stuff. You know, I don't want to have to tell my kids, sorry guys, we can't go to the springs, because there is no springs anymore. The aquifer's dried up. You know, like, we have got to stop these things. We cannot sell out our way of life here for a few bucks, you know? Like, these companies, these AI things, you know, they create maybe a few construction jobs on the side, you know? But, like, once it's built, you know, it only takes about, like, 5 or 10 people to operate these things. And you know what these people come from? They don't come from our county. They come from Silicon Valley. Exactly. So it's not going to create any jobs for these people right here. It's not going to create any economic benefits to us. It's not going to do anything but destroy our way of life here. It's going to harm every single person in this room in substantial ways. And I think that we should not only put in a ban on these things, an ordinance that bans these things. I think that we need to, for every county in the Panhandle, that's what I'm arguing right now, is put away that we cannot have it, even if the state, or even if, you know, their smart lawyers slip in something, it can't operate here. And that's just my opinion. Something for you to think about. Nathan Nolan, I think that's your last name. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. You can finish up right quick if you had something. All right.
I was at a governmental thing the other day, and Byron Donald said the state's going to make this happen. Yeah, that's the way to stop it that way.
Well, and that's what we're trying to do at this time. I mean, his whole board wants to stop it.
Why
Yes, sir.
did you bring it up in the first place then if you're not involved in it?
Why did we what?
Why was this placed on the agenda 2 days
Oh,
ago?
let me answer that. Please let me answer that.
Yes, answer that.
Well, for one reason, we can't stop it if I don't put it on the agenda. I had to add it on the agenda, and I was wanting to follow up with what Walton County's doing next Thursday at 1 o'clock. I'm nothing against Nate. Nate's a very bright lawyer. That attorney over there, he's probably the best in county government you'll ever see. Regardless of what you think about him, he is good. That was the purpose I put it on there. And then it got turned around and got put on the website that development had been approved and it was going to be heard here tonight, which was all false information. So that's the reason it got put on there, but it was only to help.
What are you talking about next week?
Walton County Board meet next week at 1 o'clock when the attorney is bringing back a ban for this stuff in Walton County. And every one of y'all should tune into, you can go to YouTube, type in Walton County Board of County Commissioners, and at 1 o'clock it will be on next Tuesday.
Sir, if you want to go ahead and speak, and then we'll...
Good evening, my name is Daniel Carter. I live at 1449 Metcalf Road. I'm here to oppose any data center or large load industrial facility near this location. First, I asked the county attorney to state clearly on record whether any vote, approval, development agreement, land use interpretation, staff direction, tax incentive, or other action is being considered tonight.
Mr. Chairman, not that I'm aware of, no, sir.
Okay. Well, it's from what I prepared, it seems like we're all in the same boat. From my understanding, our gators are protected, our wetlands are protected, data centers consume up 80% of the water and they do not return. And the water that they do return cannot be drinking, cannot be used. It will kill everything we have. It'll give up our county away to someone who's just trying to run something that's going to die out in the end. But I have a question. Is this regarding to what, because like you said, from what I could find, Missoula Springs residential approval, is it regarding that location? Because supposedly the realtor, they have on their website that data center approved.
Yeah, the one above Leonia that ties into the Walton County line.
And that's the one that you said has false information on.
Oh, yes. I mean, you look, it was, before Sunday night, nobody knew that address. Now everybody knows it. So you take the number of Google clicks and he can show that to his next client and he'll probably do pretty good.
Just to put this on, because I wasn't able to hear everything, I didn't know to get up here. Data centers are not orderly commercial buildings. They require massive 24/7 electrical load, utility upgrades, backup generators, fuel source, cooling systems, water withdrawals, wastewater, stormwater controls, road impacts, fire protection, noise environment, and public service issues, and it preserves local authority to regulate or deny them. I'm asking the board to take, sorry, I have to adjust it. All our water goes to the ocean. So this isn't just going to affect us. This is going to affect all the fish we catch in the ocean. This is going to destroy our creeks. This is going to destroy our springs. If they're pulling from our aquifer, if it's anything like Coca-Cola coming in and claiming spring water and sell it to everybody, they take it, they take hold of it, and they don't let go of it. So I ask that we all fight, and I do have a public records request, but it seems like you guys kind of just got this drop bomb on you. I would like to submit one. I have it on paper to give, and I will happily share it with everybody in this room so that everybody's on the same page. You guys don't already do it.
Hey, you can give it to Mr. Corbin right here.
Sir. Did I drop it? Nope. I had 9 copies. I have the request. I wrote my name on all of them except apparently this one. So
That's all I need. I'll give it to the attorney and he'll get you answered.
All right?
Yes, please.
Thank you, sir.
The attorney will get you answered.
We're done with this topic.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, are we concluded on this topic? Mr. Attorney, are you prepared for the next regular session on the permanent fix on this?
Yes, sir. I just asked permission for y'all to give me an opportunity to speak with sister counties council, and we're going to get a plan, and we're on the same page on this. We're from here. I'm from here. The board's from here. I'm not driving over from Tallahassee. I live here. We're going to do the best we can and give the best language that we can.
I want to say this for myself. Mr. Chairman, thank you for everything on this, fellow commissioners. I don't think there's not anyone sitting here that wants a data center. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Absolutely.
I'm just, we all live here, we all have kids here, we all want to be part of this community. You got a farm.
My farm won't prosper with that.
I got a garden. We don't want this to happen. We just don't want this to happen, but I think we all appreciate you guys being here. Mr. Chairman, I was going to ask for a temporary recess till we continue to regular session if this concludes that.
5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
5 minutes. We'll take a 5 minutes recess.
Hope to see all of you next meeting.
Excuse me, can we get the date and the time again for the public forum for everybody?
We'll advertise it.
It'll be advertised, but it's June 16th at 6 o'clock.
Oh, that means good description, maybe. We need been there. I read it. That went back. Don't you want to be a candidate for me?
How you doing? Something good to see How you doing? I don't know. Yeah. But we'll have to be all right. Everything stops.
Well, I've got my, I won't rerun it, so I've got well, thank you. Hey, John, sir.
Well done.
I don't know about that.
Ain't done yet. We'll get there.
Yeah, we did very well.
All those bodies, yeah. You're up here, I'm staring.
Little bit. How you been doing? That Lord's good to us. How's the sister doing? How's your city doing? That's all right. I'm you couldn't buy her away. That's a blessing.
A friend of mine said, I hate to get on your bad side when you got a dog.
We appreciate you.
I was asking myself, somebody told me, I think he didn't. So I want you to know that. I said, sure, take God, whisper in my ear real loud, get me to it again.
You'll have to give me a real blessing, ain't it?
That'd be a good one for you, brother. This one, he's better watch out.
I don't like to come out and do too much. I'm in the hill right there. I love my fishing, I love my hunting, and I love my...
Well, I'm glad to see you come out to woodwork. Yeah. It's about time. I want to tell Miss Tina how proud I am of you. Maybe she'll sing it. Appreciate it. I guarantee you, I'll spend, you know,
Hey, Mr. Jackson.
Hey, sir, how you doing? Hello, how you doing, buddy? What? Yeah.
Yeah, we'd start back, get her going.
Joel, how you doing? Good to see you. Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Do y'all don't need me no more, being it's over.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. Hey, come here just a minute. It's just
You know it? Staff.
Yes, a good buddy. For a long time.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started back. We'll go to the regular agenda here. On the non-agenda audience, we had a lot of names sign in, and at this time, unless you want to talk something besides the A1, the data center, if you signed it and you didn't, and that you want something you want to talk about, all right.
Man, is the AC on you?
I got it on 65. I was
Okay.
fixing to apologize. There's so many bodies in here. It just ain't taking it. I'm sorry.
Well, if everybody could hold their breath for about 10 minutes, it'd cool down, wouldn't it?
Got a lot of hot air in here, too.
A lot of hot air coming from Mr. Johnson. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me this few minutes here. I just want to come up once again. I'm going to beat the drum on fire and life safety. For starters, what is the occupancy capacity of this building?
But it's overfull today.
It was beyond capacity, legal capacity tonight.
well, no one knows
And
that
I'm
number. That's the thing. I mean,
I'm not knocking that everybody was here. It's great to have participation in these meetings. I'm glad that that happened. I'm using that as an example. I'm just using it as an example for why we need these fire and life safety inspections. What if something happened in here tonight? How would people get out? Where are the emergency evacuation plans for this room? I see none. And I'm using this as an example. I'm not criticizing this board in any way. I'm using this as an example because it's in this same thing is repeated in probably every business in this county. When was the last time we checked fire extinguishers in this building?
It was brought up, we didn't have none, but we do. And
So there's an annual.
We have 3 fire extinguishers.
I'm not saying you don't, I'm just asking, when was the last inspection done on them? And when was the last state certification on those fire extinguishers? It has to be done every year. It has to be done every year. It's required by law to be done every year. The same is applicable to every business in this county. But how many businesses actually have the appropriate fire extinguishers in the appropriate places and being inspected appropriately by law? We don't know because there are no inspections going on. We don't have a county fire marshal. When there's no county fire marshal, that responsibility falls on the building inspector. And I'm telling you, it's not a matter of if something happens that causes somebody to lose their life in an establishment in this county due to the lack of preparedness. In today's environment, it's a matter of when it's going to happen. And with that in mind, I'd like to know, when are we going to be proactive on fire and life safety inspections of our businesses within Holmes County I'm talking about the entirety of Holmes County, because the building inspector's responsibilities don't stop at incorporated city limit signs, does it? I think he's responsible for every building in the county. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rick. All right, anybody else that signed on the non-agenda audits?
Terry Mears, 18448 off Whitaker Road, Boniface, Florida. I just want to say that I commend you commissioners for doing what you're doing here in this county. And I know, like everyone in this building tonight, that you feel the same way. You live here for a reason. You're in public service for a reason. And sometimes you just can't help but get emotional. You know, and I look down the gun barrel to make sure that we can come and say what we want to say in a public forum. And if you disagree with me, then I'm not going to find out with you because I disagree with you or you disagree with me. But I'm going to say that's your right because I've helped defend that. But having said that, you know, a lot of us can live anywhere we want to, but we choose to live here. And like I was explaining to one of my neighbors there, I don't try and come out very often in the limelight because I like to fish. River's messed up, so I'm trying to go to Youth Island now, you know, but I'll tell you, I love this part of the country, and I choose to live here for a reason. And I want to applaud the citizens that come out tonight to be heard. That's indicative of the kind of community that we have. We may not agree with one another, and we may hate each other, or I shouldn't say that. We may dislike one another, but when it comes down to our community, we stand together. And I just want to end that by saying, God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless the United States of America.
Thank you. I will go down to the agenda items. The first item will be the RFP 2604 Healthcare Insurance Services.
Commissioners, we did advertise healthcare insurance services. We only got 2 bids. There was a bit of confusion, I think, from the standpoint of what we were asking for, unfortunately. However, we have gotten some clarification. Ms. Jane's done an excellent job of getting information on the 2 bidders. One was the Sheriff's Association, the other was Brown & Brown, which I know we've got a representative, I believe, from Brown & Brown. Thank you all for coming. We were excited to have the bids that we had. Our current healthcare provider did not bid. But Ms. Jane's been doing a great job of getting information to the 2 bidders that we have. Hopefully we'll have more information for you, but this has gone before our insurance committee. They wanted to have a discussion and get more data, get them the data they need to give us an actually solid number, which I know it's a moving target, and I can't even begin to tell you, to explain the insurance industry to you, but that's why we have people in place like the insurance committee that can. But with your permission, Mr. Chairman, do y'all have any questions for me specifically, or would y'all like Brown & Brown maybe to give them a chance to speak?
Do we have any hardcore numbers yet?
No, sir. Not on premiums or...
That's what they're...
Jane is getting information to both companies, and would y'all like to get up at this time and tell the board?
I'm a little bit short as well.
I can fix it for you.
That's okay, as long as y'all can hear me.
That's okay, Dave.
Well, first and foremost, Mr. Chairman, Board, we really appreciate you all taking some time out of this meeting to allow us to introduce ourselves. Nate, thank you. I know I chatted with you on the phone, and I appreciate you helping provide a little bit of clarity. We did provide a deck that each one of you has a copy of. And I won't bore you to death. When everybody was walking in tonight, I thought everybody might be excited to talk about insurance, but that was not the case. We get excited about it, but nonetheless, my name is Tiffany Hill. I've been with Brown & Brown for going on 12 years now. My background's in human resources, and for pretty much all of those 12 years, I've been working with Florida government entities on their employee benefits program. So the deck that we provided to you all gives a little bit of an overview of us. I also brought along my colleague. I'll let her just step in and quickly introduce herself. Hi, I'm Morgan Johnson. I have been on the Brown & Brown team about 9.5 years now, and only working in the Florida government space for that entire time. So thank you for having us. So I brought Morgan along because her main role is really what we call marketing, and for the purpose of this discussion, marketing in the insurance space means that we're gathering the employee data of a population like you all's, and we're providing it to our trusted carrier partners. Brown & Brown is an independent broker, which means we are going out to the market every single year for our clients, whether they're public sector or private. Our office specifically specializes in public sector. On pages 4 and 5, I did just throw together some highlights that exhibit our presence in this part of the state. For example, on page 5, you can see we work with Gadsden County, Okaloosa County, Wakulla County, Walton County. That is through our partnership with the Gehring Group, who we recently acquired. So between ourselves, Brown & Brown Public Sector, and the Gehring Group, we have a massive presence from the Panhandle all the way down to South Florida. And I say all that to say it's our passion. We understand that there's different constraints in this in this space. And I understand that a bid was put out to hopefully obtain some pricing. And to the question of do we have pricing, we are very much excited and willing to get that to you all. I'm going to let Morgan talk a little bit about the timeline of that. But I also wanted to call out on pages 7 and 8 of your deck, after you take a peek at our public sector presence. I did just clarify the differences between the types of bids. A lot of government entities will put out broker bids, and I only wanted to call attention to that because our clients consider us a trusted advisor, and that whole marketing process, we own it. So a lot of our clients don't necessarily need to put out product bids, which is kind of I think what you all were looking for, because that's what we do on an annual basis. We have such deeply rooted relationships that allow us to leverage those relationships, allows us purchasing power, and we aren't just going out to the market to give you fully insured quotes like the plans you already have. We're going out and we're looking at level funded plans. We are very excited to show you what a self-funded product with our consortium. Washington County is a part of that. The Washington Sheriff is also part of that. Madison County, City of Madison, the list goes on. But that allows the county to be self-funded and allows the county to actually have an opportunity to gain a surplus at the end of the year. If you're not part of that consortium, you're either fully insured or you're standalone self-insured, which is a lot of exposure risk-wise and a lot of volatility with renewals. So, I say all that to say, if we are your broker, we're going out and we're doing that shopping on an annual basis, and we're showing every solution on the table, because for us, whether you're part of our proprietary consortium called Florida Government Healthcare Solutions or you're fully insured, we're looking for the best possible solution for the county, period, end of story. So the current situation that we're in, we obviously responded to the bid that was put out. We responded to it in a way that showcased our broker services, our full scope of services, our qualifications. And so I think we're at the next point where, the board is expecting to see some pricing and plans, which we're absolutely happy to do. With that being said, I wanted to allow Morgan just a little bit of time to talk about the timeline, if that's okay with you all.
All right.
All right, so I believe as of today, we have what we need from Jane, thank you so much, to go out and get the quotes. So the carriers right now, they look at about a 2-week turnaround. That gives their underwriting analysts time to look at your claims, your census, so they can look at your population, see dependents, all of that good stuff that's enrolled, look at the actual plans you have, and then price them appropriately. So that will give us time to get the quotes back. We'll package everything in a proposal for you and then let you see all the options that are out there, and then we'll make our recommendation for what we think suits the county and its employees the best. So we will go through that process, and then that still gives us time to prepare for open enrollment. And we can come out if, we're chosen, we'll come out and host open enrollment meetings for your employees. We can sit down one-on-one. In the event that you change insurance carriers, we can do education meetings. So we'll look at all of that. We'll look at the providers in the area, make sure that the new options line up with that. and just kind of hold your hand throughout the entire way and throughout the rest of the year. So that's kind of how the timeline's looking right now, is we need a couple of weeks to get the quotes, and then we'll provide that in our proposal to you.
And I also wanted to add, we've done a lot of evaluation of the current employee benefits program as it stands. We can tell you success story after success story of working with rural counties in the state of Florida, from us becoming agent of record to now. And we're really excited to be able to help do things like put a benefit administration system in that allows your staff to do less manual work. And we do that through our relationships and partnerships with carriers. We have the ability to partner with worksite carriers such as Colonial, also use our relationships with carriers to gain what's called technology funds that basically allow those types of systems to be put in place at no cost to the county. And that's all through kind of our partnerships that we've developed over the many years that we've been doing this. So that's an example of something that we're very excited to be able to help kind of improve some of the infrastructure, look at some of the gaps in the programming, so that at the end of the day, we're helping put in place something that's a long-term, strategic plan with the county to hopefully meet your goals. It's all about being competitive and comprehensive. We understand that the benefits program is a huge talent tool and a huge retention tool to ensure that employees have the best in class in terms of benefits programming. There's lots of other slides, but I won't bore you to death. But I just wanted to make sure that you put a face to the name, and we are very excited and willing to hopefully be partnering with you all soon. And I'm happy to answer any questions if there's any questions.
Does the board have any questions at this time?
Mr. Chairman, the insurance committee, 4 of them is here tonight. Sheriff John Tate is part of it. Rusty Williams, our supervisor of relation, myself, Jane, I believe that's all that's here. We do want to get some pricing. We hope to have it by maybe the next meeting.
Now, this will be from both of the companies that...
Yes, there was 2 bidders.
All right, so...
Provide both the same information.
Yeah. And will that next meeting
The next meeting?
be,
Yep.
which will be
It'll be the 16th. It's 2
16th, yeah.
If you, maybe if you don't have it by then, we can possibly put it.
We're going to push.
Just keep in touch with David or Nate or one of them.
Absolutely, I will. And one of the reasons, just for clarity purposes, one of the reasons why sometimes this takes a long time is because of our us being an independent broker. We're not just quoting like our own programs, right? We're going out to market to Cigna, to Aetna, to Florida Blue, to UHC. We don't have the advantage of just being able to say this is, our program. We are going to quote our proprietary consortium, which is that self-funded option I talked about. But outside of that, we're running, the gamut. And so obviously that takes a little bit of time for us to partner with the carriers. And so we'll certainly stay in touch, but that will be our goal to meet that deadline for you.
All right.
Yep.
Thank y'all very much.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go down to the 2025.
Interject, Ms. Jane.
Raise your hand if you'd like to.
Okay. Yes, may I approach?
Yes, you may.
Good evening. My name is Tanya Wright, and I am with Globe Life Liberty National. Unlike these 2 ladies who did a phenomenal job, we are a supplemental company, and we help serve employees on a needs-based level. So, for example, Liberty National has been in business since 1900. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Globe Life Liberty National. We are one of the main sponsors of the Dallas Cowboys, the Texas Rangers. We offer supplemental benefits to employees through income replacement. If someone were to be injured on the job and they were to have cancer or a critical illness such as heart attack, stroke, then our policies would supplement and they would take the place of what the 80% of insurance doesn't pay for. So it's definitely, it changes people's lives. I know I personally have the life insurance policies. We have a phenomenal policy, group term paid up at age 65. So if you are in a certain age bracket, then you would definitely want to take advantage of that, because we're able to service the employees through a fraction of the cost versus one-on-one. We have an accident policy that we would give each one of your employees a free $3,000 accidental death policy. That's just the company's way of saying thank you for partnering with us. We also give out a discount card that can help with some medications, prescriptions, and has definitely been essential in a lot of our own employees' health care and the cost, to reduce the cost of their insurance. The final expense, and I'll just kind of wind this up here. If you had an employee that, God forbid, were to pass away, and he's got a wife, he's got a mortgage, he's got 3 kids, they've got to get through college, she's just left with one income. So our final expense policy helps supplement not just the cost of the funeral, but also the cost of the final expenses. So we can help assist in those ways as well, so that the grieving spouse is not just left grieving the loss of their partner, but also they're able to be helped financially through the business, through the city, through the county, with their benefits. And so I have the information here. I've been talking to Miss Jane as well for several months, and my information she has. So if anybody has any questions for me now, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Board have any questions?
Are you part of the open enrollment then? I mean, are you currently work for the county? I mean, serve the county?
No.
Or is open enrollment?
No, not currently, no, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
She'd have to make a request to the insurance committee, and they'd make a recommendation.
Okay, I just didn't know if that was part of the same, so you're a whole different bid process and she's.
Right,
to-
right.
Yeah,
So I've gotten my instruction through Miss Jane.
okay. And when is that coming available? Do you know that?
Open enrollment?
No, I mean, to be able to put out for services like this at insurance time.
Next insurance committee meeting.
Okay.
If she,
So she needs to make this presentation at the insurance committee meeting, is what you're saying?
she can.
Okay.
Yes.
Because they'll make a
Which
recommendation.
is,
I don't know, that's why I was asking him what
Okay.
day it was, because that, and then they will make a recommendation to us,
okay.
to this board, kind of like what we went through with this process. I'm not trying to,
No,
Sidebar, I just wanna make sure you're in the-
understanding how
yeah, I wanna make sure you're in the
order of
right.
business goes as well, so,
so I make sure you're in the right
right,
place, routine.
absolutely.
Because that's a very good product.
And we're waiting to get our pricing for our next meeting, so.
Okay.
Jane's got the information.
Just get with Jane on the date and do a presentation there, I guess. Okay.
Since Ms. Wright's been coming, we haven't had an insurance commission meeting. I told her I'd let her know when we had the next one scheduled.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank y'all.
All right, we'll go down to the next agenda item, 2025, 2026 budget amendment, number 2, Angie.
Yes, sir. You should have the budget amendment number 2 in your packet. We're just bringing on some grant revenue, and I'm moving money between line items as approved by the board. So I just need approval of this budget amendment, please.
Make a motion to move forward.
I have a motion to move forward with this amendment.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? How's the vote?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank you.
All right, David, we're going down to county coordinator.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, thank you. This board asked me to get a agriculture government efficiency project contract, and we hired a firm that y'all hired out of Tallahassee due to Mr. Nate excusing himself. So I've got that contract in hand. I'm sure y'all have had a chance to look at it. If you hadn't, I think it's a very good contract that Mr. Stewart put together with Nichols, Gibbon, and Nickerson out of Tallahassee. It's 2 years from the date we sign on the warranty on the roof. I think that's excellent. And we've had some little hiccups out there, but he has been coming back fixing them. So I feel good with this. We need to pay neighbors Gibbon and Nicholson, and when this contract's signed, it's a 2-year from that date, and it's got a signature for the clerk of the court, Mr. Bailey, and for the chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, and Contractors Unlimited. So at this time, I would recommend that the board accept this application as contract and approve it so we can move on.
Have you talked to our contractors about this?
Yes.
And they're okay with it?
They good.
I'll make a motion, we sign.
I have a motion on the floor to sign this contract. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, are we going, I know this is separate, but when are we gonna pay the guy for his work? When's that coming up?
When everything is signed, we waiting on, and Mr. Tim may have to help me with this, we waiting on a Form 7 that, the engineer had to send in. Have y'all received that yet, Tim?
We've not,
Dewberry.
we're still working with them on
Okay.
that, make sure that those forms are completed.
And Trey knows about it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Good deal.
That's for final payment.
Okay.
Could we make that, Tim, pending on the signing? Could the board make a motion to go ahead and make that pending that it is signed?
Contingent on him.
Contingent.
Contract,
Yeah.
I believe so.
You really wouldn't need to, because they're not gonna get the money until they sign it.
Yeah.
And I knew he had to be part of
Well,
this
you're
deal.
still gonna have to bring it back before the board even
Yeah.
if they sign it, to approve me signing it.
Okay. I just know he agreed to this for the 2 years, and it just seems like we should be ready to pay
Yeah.
him once we do
And
this.
once we get that form from Dewberry, Jennifer and Tim do not have a problem or nothing. We'll send the invoice in and Angie's gonna pay it.
Good deal.
I'll make a motion, I'll amend my motion to reflect that the chairman can sign contingent upon the paperwork's being signed, waiting back from you for those final documents from the engineer.
I don't see an issue with that, just want to emphasize again, we want to ensure that the county's reimbursed
Yeah.
for any expenses, so.
Thank you, Tim.
And with the 2-year contract.
All right, you have a motion on the floor to hear a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just had a question. So we're not signing the contract tonight?
No, when they bring it back, I'll be able to sign it at that time.
They're waiting on that form.
All right? I have to vote.
Yes.
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 Okay, my second item, Mr. Chairman, Road and Bridge had a budgetary problem, and it's slight, but it's in operating supplies, and if you look through there, there's several things that comes out of that 35,000. We did have to buy a couple of ice machines for a couple of districts. You know, we got 5 districts in the county, and 2 of the ice machines went out. So that budget is $204.74 over. I would ask the board, I'm recommending, let's take $2,000 out of road and bridge contingency and put in that line item to carry me through the rest of the year, and be real careful from here on out.
All right, you hear a motion to that effect?
So moved.
I have a motion on the floor to hear a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, so we had 35,000 budgeted for the whole year. We're halfway there. And
A little
you're
bit over
feeling,
half, yeah.
yeah, and you feel like you said $2,000 will make it for the rest of the year?
Well, I talked with Andy, and he felt like he could take $2,000 and make it, you know, but that was his figure. We could put a little more.
And you gotta remember, there's 204 coming out of it.
I know, that's what I'm looking at. I mean, I just don't see how this math is mathing, because some of these are ongoing. I mean, here you got artesian water coming out of it. That's a monthly fee. I mean, you got
Angie
stuff coming out of here,
Sullivan.
and that's fine.
Angie,
I'm just gonna say, the road department tried to submit a PO today for $1,400.
I didn't know about that one.
That we could not issue,
Okay.
so that's $1,400.
okay, I didn't know about that one. But that's the figure he told me, but I tell you what we'll do, we'll back up and punt.
Well, I think the real thing to do is come back with a proposed budget for the remaining part of the year and what things you need and what things you don't, and maybe he can start cutting back on some of the stuff here that maybe we can live without, you know. I mean, you got trash can liners, you got gloves, and I'm just thinking, all the stuff, you know, some of it, you gotta have it, but I mean, I don't know how you're gonna make the rest of the year for $2,000.
That's the reason I said let's back up and punt, and I'll go back to him and see it.
Well, what I would say, you got the motion on the floor for 2,000, she just got a $1,400 bill, and go ahead and approve the 2,000 until we get a budget in.
Angie, what do you think?
But that work out, that would catch it up, though, that would catch it up, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We could issue that PO.
All right, any more discussion? How's the vote?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 I'll get it, Mr. Chairman, I'll go get a realistic budget, make them print it at what they need. That
All
work,
right.
Mr. Harrison?
Yeah, I'd like to see something that's doable.
All right, David, you had another.
Okay, yes, this is kind of a little touchy. Board, everybody in this room knows, and Tim's gonna give you a report directly of what happened today on the House and the Senate.
Before you went any further, excuse me, but, Tim, do you mind going in and give that report
Okay.
at this time?
That'll lead me into it.
Good evening, Commission. As David mentioned, and y'all probably received an email from us this afternoon that contained the two pieces of legislation that were passed by the legislature today. But, they've just completed special session F, which means that there's been 6 special sessions within the last year, which for those keeping count, probably more than we've seen since the 90s. So been a lot of special sessions. They've taken up a lot of issues, but probably none bigger than what we saw this week when the legislature came into town on Monday and discussed the governor's proposal on property tax reform. And what they passed was essentially going to be the future elimination of ad valorem property taxes as we know it. So, the House and Senate did pass HB 1F and Senate Bill 4F, which 1F will be what goes to the ballot in November, and 4F actually contains language that doesn't limit how many words that they can use on the ballot summary, which I think is probably important. But something else that I did want to know, the title of that particular ballot item will be called "Save Our Homes from Excessive Taxation." If you're curious of, when voters go to the polls and they're left to decide between excessive taxation or not, you may get a sense of how they're going to ultimately end up voting. There's already some polls out there on what, if they're going to be able to get 60%. I think there's a general feeling that they will. Basically, the framework for this proposal is that beginning January 1st, 2027, if this passes, the homestead exemption will be increased to $150,000, and then the following year, January 1st, 2028, the exemption will be increased to $250,000. And then there is language in the proposal that would allow either the local governments or the legislature to eventually phase out those taxes altogether.
In the language on the trust fund?
There were, what the governor had proposed and what eventually passed was wasn't identical. There was changes to it. The governor did not want, he wanted school taxes to also go away. Those school levies, the legislature put those back in. The trust fund that we were hopeful would provide some sort of relief for at least fiscally constrained counties like Holmes was also removed. I think there was debate over whether or not there was a permanent mechanism was needed or being called upon through the amendment, or whether or not the future legislatures could use their discretion to provide basically a backfill for some of these counties. That has yet to be determined. That, in addition to what ad valorem taxes that are collected, what they can be used for. It states basically public safety items, including law enforcement, fire service, and emergency medical service, education in public schools, which I mentioned, road and bridge construction and maintenance, stormwater control and other infrastructure projects, natural resource projects, including flood control measures, retirement benefits of local government employees, bond obligations, and operations and administration of county offices and commissioners and municipalities, and approved expenditures thereof. A lot of this, we believe, has yet to be fully fleshed out, fully determined. The legislature will have to come back during the 2027 legislative session if this passes to basically pass an implementing bill that will contain a lot of the verbiage and direction for counties on how they can spend those dollars. But we've not seen anything like this being passed down to local governments. And so there's just, it's late in the year, in June now, and this is all going to be put on the ballot here in a few months. They didn't study. There was not a fiscal impact provided on this proposal, which led to a lot of criticism that it wasn't fully vetted. But yet, here we are. This is what's heading to the ballot in November now.
Chairman, what this means is the homestead exemption will go up. And what that does is it deletes a lot of money the county would have had.
That is good.
Absolutely. And David, I think you've been kind of kicking around some of those numbers to see what the impact could be.
It could vary. You could lose up to 1.7 million, thereabouts, according to the property appraiser. But we none can control that. All we can do is control what we can with Holmes County and provide the services that we provide. And so thank you, Tim. I know I've worried you. Thank you for being there at every phone call. I thank our representative and our senator for always answering the phone call. But I reckon, Mr. Chairman, to get to the meat of what y'all... Okay.
Did y'all have a question for Tim?
No, Tim, thank you.
I just wanted to add, as more materials and stuff become available, tools and stuff that we can use to kind of understand what this impact could be.
I got the email today. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sure. Yes,
Anything else going on? Any update on the EDA grant or anything?
We're waiting on some letters of support from the Water Management District. Who replied today that they should have that over in the ECRC. But I think since I was last here, we did, the legislature did pass a budget last week that contained $1.25 million for the jail expansion and $175,000 for the emergency equipment. So those projects now go to the governor for his approval here in the next couple of weeks.
Jane got our support letters today.
So,
Get to the meat of it, Chairman, and you serve on the way Holmes County does it. We have a budget committee that consists of the clerk of the court, the chairman, myself, and the finance director, which is Miss Angie. So we have to, first of all, Angie sends out a request for everybody's budget for this upcoming year, and we compile them figures with everything that we have to pay, all the projections. And let me go ahead and tell this board, we do not have zero projections yet. You got your Medicaid cost sharing, you got your insurance, you got retirement. I could just go on and on with things that we have to have in hand to finish the budget. But with the news we got, the budget committee come back with a recommendation to the board at 25 rates, 2025 budget rates, to ask for a 5% reduction across the board. We wanted to keep it even and keep it fair. I know some departments, we got one person in that position. It's going to be hard. But on the same token, I don't want to go over to Road and Bridge or some bigger department that's got a bigger budget and say, hey, you got to take the blunt. So fairly, that's what the committee recommended, and Mr. Earl, you may want to jump in, you part of that committee. There's a 5 and a 10% reduction, and it shows you what you can get if you go with, and successful with a 5% reduction. That'll bring you $790,763. That's a little over $750,000 to catch a shortfall. But listen, I've been doing budgets for a long time. I've never done a budget with what I'm looking at right now.
So, Mr. Corman, you have a 5%, 790,000, and you have a 10% reduction.
Yeah, we're on the back.
Yeah.
I think it gave you a better number.
5%.
We have a 10% and a 5%.
What, okay, a 5% is 177.
No.
From the road department.
That's just the road department.
Oh, that's the road department.
That's just the road department. If you look at the front page on the bottom, if you look at the bottom right there, that gives you the 5 and the 10.
Okay, so this is 790,000, this is 967,000. So which one is it?
If the board cuts 5%, that's 790,000.
That's all we would do.
Add that to a road department cut of 5%, that's another 177,000 for a total of 967,000.
Okay.
That's all it totals up, 900,000.
So that's only 5%, and we're projecting, well, if the voters vote on it, you're saying you're projecting $1.7 million.
That's the figures I got from the property appraiser. Nobody's actually got accurate numbers right now. It varies a little bit.
But that won't really take effect in next budget, the following budget year. So what you're saying, maybe do a 5% this year and a 5% next year.
That's what we were talking about.
That's what we're proposing to the board, to lessen the blow.
But now, what's your projected cost for inflation on that?
We did not
No, we did not.
add
No, we
the
didn't.
3%
We're asking
inflation.
them to take their 25-26 budget, this year's budget, and see if they can cut 5% off.
So, but what would the inflation be for the following year? If you do 5% this year and 5% next year, these numbers are not true then for the following year, is what I'm saying.
Except for the
If
inflation.
FRS goes up, insurance goes up, the board's gonna have to cover that. We're just asking them to look at their budget and see what they can do, knowing what they know now. There's so much we don't know.
So, I guess what I'm saying, I think it would be better to do a 7% and a 7% than the 5% and 5%, to split that, because if you look at a 3% national standard, 3% increase in the next year, you got 3% there. So we're gonna be behind the ball again if we do only based on the 5% with no inflation projection.
That's why we brought it before the board.
We did
I'm
not.
just asking, that's what I'm just
Different
asking.
IDs. Yeah, you got different IDs.
I've seen the projection of the first year being around, wouldn't it, around 50-something? Because I think me and you seen the same
I've seen
email, the
a lot
250,000
of,
went to
I've seen a lot of
1.1.
figures, and
I think we need to know what number that we're working with to get to this. I mean, we just pulling something out of the air right now.
Well, they're projecting 1.7 million based on 250,000.
That's the second year.
That's the second year. But if they split, like you said, I don't know what 150 would be, because that's more than double than the 250. So it really, you're right, and that's what I'm looking at. You really don't know what these numbers are yet, because you don't. 150 is more than 125, so you're going to have an increase of that plus inflation. I think these numbers are kind of low, in my opinion.
This is a lot of cutting.
And it is a lot of cutting, and we knew this. And it's just like David said, there's gonna be some one-person departments and that they're not gonna be able to cut this.
And when we put this proposal together, we did not have the vote. We didn't know what was gonna happen.
No.
But we know now.
Yes, come forward.
Okay. again, my name is Terry Mears. I live at 18448 Adolph Whitaker Road. Those numbers that he was talking about, we are aware that only 30% of people in Holmes County pays taxes,
That
okay?
is correct.
And now we're looking at homestead. So what about that other 70% that is not paying homestead taxes? Somebody's paying property taxes on that. So is that what you're cutting there encompass the whole 100%? Or is that the 30% that are paying taxes going to get homestead exemption increase?
No, this is just cuts from every department.
This is the entire budget.
No, I'm talking about the amendment that goes about what you're going to be cutting. And your proposal, what you're saying, you're going to look at $1.7 million, right? Is that what you come up with?
Yeah, but
Only 250.
On the 250, but is that from all the properties in Holmes County?
It's the ones that pays revenue. Ad
Well,
valorem.
okay, but everybody does not get that.
I know what you're saying.
$150,000.
You're correct, only
for the-
30% pays.
Right.
But, there's also some verbiage in there that you can't go back and do, where it was set at 10%, you can't go no more than 5, correct, Tim?
Right.
And he might need to explain that if you need.
And also, if you buy new property, they get that $50,000 exemption for 5 years before they go to that
That's right.
$150,000 also.
That's correct.
Okay, and then I know there's gonna be somewhat of a shortfall, but you know, when we talk at apples to oranges or apples to apples, and that's what I was wanting to clarify. You know, whenever you talk about 30%, or is that the whole 70%?
No, I mean, that is another component of the amendment, and that is your non-homesteaded properties. You know, before you could, what was it, 10%?
10%.
Assessment each year, you could increase. The governor was very clear when he laid this plan out, he didn't want a tax shift to small businesses and other properties. So that's where you now see that 5% cap. So again, it ties your hands a little bit further when y'all are having these discussions.
That's why I think these numbers are a little low. And what's the cost of inflation on top of that? Because it's like Mr. Commissioner Wilmer said right there, I don't really know if we really, you know, it's hard to know what really numbers you're looking at here based on that, you know.
You don't want to lay nobody off and you don't have to.
No, and we're not talking about that. This is something to send out to see what we could get back on it before it came to a time where we had to lay off.
Right.
I mean, that's all we were doing.
I mean, y'all do a great job with it. You do. It's just, it'd be nice to have a number to work with.
But I don't, Angie, it'll be a while before we get all
Yeah,
those.
it could be 30 days before you approve your.
Lord, it would.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to know what we've got to hit.
Give you a prime example, Mr. Stafford, last year, we didn't get all of our projections in to right there about what, Angie, I don't want to tell something wrong, 45 days before the budget.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
August before we get it.
Yeah, and you gotta have a budget in by September 30th with public hearings and all that.
All right, is the board going to wait until we get the numbers in?
Well, we kind of, like Angie said, we kind of need to start with something.
You do.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere. Because like you said, David, not everyone's gonna be able to do a cut. I mean, I'm looking at some of these numbers and I don't know, I mean, I really don't know if you can cut, I mean, the sheriff is sitting there, but I don't know if you can, this is impossible
Well,
doable with some of
They
these
can't
numbers.
do it, they can't do it, you know.
I mean, these are. and
Here's
if they
another
can't, we're
thing
gonna have
for
to
the
come back.
commissioners to bear in mind. Angie has requested all budgets turned in. They were supposed to already be turned in. We held them up till we could have a board meeting to see what y'all wanted to do, because they gotta go back and revisit their budget. And I don't wanna be rough on the employees or the department heads, because it takes a while to look at something to see if they could be some cutting. But, that was another reason that we was asking for it.
I don't mind going with 5%. I just want to be safe, but, there's no way to know. I think we're going to be low at 5%. But then again, I'm going to tell you guys, we got 1 year. So whatever we don't make up this year, we can make up next year. You might have to make up 8% or 9% the following year.
I hate to tell the board this tonight, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and Angie can verify it. I've been here approximately 6 years, going on 7. Every year that we've done a budget, Angie, what's been our shortfall to start out with as we start out? About 1 million. 1 million.
Well, regardless where you at, I would start out with these employees getting at least a 3% raise. And
I
let's
do
cut
that
down
every
to
year.
that.
We put that in every
You can
year.
ask, we can't ask them employees to go another year without raises. Ain't no way you can do it. You ain't gonna have no help.
Angie, we
That's what
put
we
it
had.
in every year, don't we?
That's
That's
exactly
exactly what we had, no help.
We put it in every
You
year.
gotta cut stuff out, keep
I don't know.
our level of service up. We got a level of service we got to keep up. So we gotta let a lot of stuff go. You know, it's,
I mean, how do you guys do that? I mean, I'm just asking, how do you do a cut and then do a raise on top of that? I mean, I'm just being honest, how do you make up that money? Because your biggest, and I'm not saying laying everybody off, I'm just saying, we got a lot of people retiring, maybe you can deal with some consolidation, or,
we got a lot of
double
options to look at, I agree.
But I just don't know how you're gonna make up that kind of money.
But you do all this cutting and you don't help these employees, you've done it all for nothing. You ain't got no employees that do your work for you, I can tell you. So.
David, do you feel like you can do this without laying anybody off? I'm just being straight, honest with you.
No.
Okay, do you feel like you can give a raise if you're gonna lay off people?
Well, I put a raise in every year. Angie and Earl, how long have you served on the insurance committee? Mr. Stafford? I should have said Mr. Stafford.
4 years.
Have you ever seen me not put a raise in?
No, it's always been in there.
But we've always never got a raise, is what I'm saying.
If you ain't got it, you can't give it.
Well, I'm just asking you, if you foresee a layoff, do you foresee a raise coming for other people? That's what I'm asking.
Here's what I see, and I'm not a forecaster other than I've done a lot of budgets in my lifetime. I'm not bragging, but I have. First of all, you got your needs and you got your wants. You got to separate directly your needs from your wants. Do you want 30-something employees up under one supervisor, or do you want them under 3 or 4 here or there? Or do you need this service here, or do you not need this service? You can take my job, for instance. It's not an essential job. If you don't want a county coordinator, you can walk up to me and say, "Adios, amigos, it was nice knowing you." I ease out the door. But somebody's got to run the business. Somebody's got to watch the ship. There's a lot of ways you can save money and do what's needed, not what's wanted. And, we got an obligation to keep up these roads. I've said here tonight, I can show you 2 Texas where they want their road fixed. I gotta have a grader. I gotta have a backhoe. Do I need a brand new one? No, I don't. But, the bottom line, Mr. Stafford is so right. I can't hire nobody hardly no more, a operator. You can hire people, but, directly we got to see what we can actually afford. And to me, I'm not an opponent of consolidation or this opponent, but you need to look at it. It's time you start looking at it. If you can afford it, that's fine. If you can't, you're going to have to make some amendments somewhere or another.
You can take the consolidation in baby steps, like right now.
Yep.
I want you to listen to this. You've got 10 dump trucks that we bought, and I promise you, not 10 of them run every day. You're lucky to have 3 or 4. You take 5 of them dump trucks, you contact that people we in a contract with to see if we can auction them back off while they still low mileage. We'll actually pay for them again. You take them 5 you got left, put them under you. If one of these districts need a pile of dirt, you send them out to get it. 5 dump trucks running is a lot better than let them sit there. You'll get more use out of your dump trucks. We don't have the staff to run all these dump trucks.
That's true.
And you could cut.
And you're about the same way with the graders. You could probably trim them back one.
You looking at?
No, I don't know if you cut back on the grader. No, that's.
Well, there's a lot of them sitting. I drive the roads and they're just sitting there.
Mine don't say it, they run.
I'm just telling you, I've seen them.
It's.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. To what point do you go? What point do you stop? And
that's what reason I said the needs and the wants.
But, we fixing to have 3 years come up with a $1.5 million payment for them trucks.
Yep.
And we're doing the 238 a year now on them. I say let's get together, give you permission to contact that bunch and see if we can't get out of this lease and auction them trucks off some of them. Just to find out if we can.
I can call them tomorrow.
Yeah, just call them to see if we can, see what we can do if we get ready to consolidate a little bit.
I know our backs are against the wall with this budget, and we got issues, but our help is the same way. I talk to my guys
Oh,
weekly,
Lord, yes.
and they're hurting. They're not, we're not nowhere near the cost of living and wages, and they're hurting bad, and a lot of them, you know, tells me if they're, them and their wife both wasn't working, they'd be starving.
Each one of y'all's got a salary study that we pulled up. Each one of y'all's got a copy of it. It's not just you road and bridge people. You got other people that's hurting.
Yeah.
I love road and bridge. They're the ones that get out there in the cold and the heat. But, you know, when you go to look at the employees, you better look at every one of them. They all important to you.
Whenever a hurricane comes through, you may justify 10 trucks, but man.
Oh, I agree with you.
Throughout the year, you can't justify 10
That's what the
dump
board
trucks.
directed us to do, and so we got them. And,
It is.
but I can certainly do that. I don't, how many would you like to get rid of?
You'd have to put 3 on each side of the river. I'd get rid of 4 of them. Or get down to 5. It's according to how bad we're gonna hit it here. I'd rather get rid of a dump truck than have people.
We gonna still haul dirt?
Yeah.
Redo it.
Right. You'll haul more dirt, you'll be more productive. Put all the dump truck drivers under you. If you need a day, load them up on them trucks. You move some dirt to these districts then.
Well, what I meant by that, spoiled dirt.
Do y'all want David to just check in?
Yeah, just to check to see what we can do. If we're gonna do some
David,
cuts,
let's
let's
just
get
check
rid
it.
of.
You know, there's a lot of things, you know, we still, y'all, this board knows it. I can go pull the figures and show you still bury animals and, dead animals and you know, that's expense. And I look at things, what you used to do and what you still do is 2 different things. Hey, I love helping people. I am born and bred to help people. I love every constituent out there. But there comes a time when you just don't know if you can continue with these cuts. I mean, I didn't ask for these cuts, but
Well,
I gotta live with them.
I gotta ask you a question. I'm really just wondering. So, if you propose to sell the dump trucks, what are we accomplishing by that? I'm asking.
Well, your dump trucks,
So, but what are we accomplishing by selling those dump trucks?
they're not sitting there and you paying for them.
Okay, so, and they're already,
And if Clint wants some dirt, you call Corbin, get on there.
And it's not reoccurring after you sell them.
well, that's what I'm
He
saying.
can
If
have
you
you
sell them and you put the money for this budget, it's not a recurring, it's not a recurring revenue. It ain't gonna help us the following
But it
year.
will keep you from paying that $1.5 million at the end of 3 years.
It'll get that debt off of you.
It'll get that.
That
debt off.
1.5 million is gonna be continuing because we're not have that money
If
coming
you get
in.
into a lease with 10 dump trucks, it will continue. We do not need 10 dump trucks, I'm telling you. Just find out when the last time 10 dump trucks, or even over 5, has run a day.
Well, how long have y'all
If
had?
you're gonna
10
be
dump trucks?
surprised now.
How long have y'all had 10 dump trucks? You've been
Yeah,
here.
I've had them forever. But is there really a need for them?
I see where you're coming from.
But you're gonna check. Go check and see.
I'll call tomorrow and see if we can. But to still the matter at hand, what we, you know, if I need to go back to the budget committee and tell them if you don't want us to do nothing, we won't do nothing. But y'all asked me to do something, and so this was what the committee, not David recommended, what the committee recommended.
I make a motion to go with the committee's recommendation at 5%.
I have a motion on the floor to go with the, committee's recommendation of 5% cut. Do we hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? How's the vote?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to ask for 5%.
All right.
That's all I have. I probably done
All right.
too much tonight.
All right, we'll go on down to the Development Commission. Go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Fix it.
I'm Doyle Majors, here to give a report on the Development Commission, what we've got going on and something we need. We're in the process of we're in the process of hiring a new executive director. And we're going to make him an employee instead of a contractor. And what we're asking, that this board maybe could do like they do with the secretary, that they used to do with the secretary, is make him an employee of the county so that we can offer insurance, retirement, and benefits, and make it a pass-through, that the Development Commission will pay all the expense, but run it through the county as a county employee so that he can have the benefits and be an employee rather than a contractor. And we'll cover everything that it costs. It won't cost the county anything. We just need y'all to put him on your payroll so we can have the benefits to offer to him, or to them, whoever, her, him, whoever it is. And we're hoping that y'all can do that for us.
And y'all will cover the expenses?
We cover all the expenses. It'll be a pass-through.
Nate's got some.
All right.
Now, you want me to read this, David, or you want me to explain what a county
Well, just
employee is?
explain what a county employee is.
So according to this, what was given to me, the employee will be governed by the personnel policies of the Board of County Commissioners and will report to work under the direct supervision of, I guess it would be
him.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. But that would, they would report directly to y'all if he's an employee.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But to qualify for Florida retirement, he would have to be a county employee.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't qualify for the FRS.
If it was run through, pass-through, then they hire him as their employee, but we just cover the cost of their county employee.
Right. So I gave them a copy of the agreement we had with Holmes Creek. We did the same thing. He was considered a county employee. He was put on our payroll. But there was an agreement between both entities to do that.
I think I have to sign his time sheet.
And we would have to know what, the board would have to create the position. They'd have to tell us what kind of retirement rate the position is going to earn, and that would all take
When you say
board.
board, are you talking about county commissioners or HCDC?
The board, the commissioners would have to.
Because they'd have to approve you
create
putting
that
him under the
position.
Florida retirement system.
So the person in charge of the hiring and firing of that position, it still would be them, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But we just need an agreement.
Yes.
Yeah. I make a motion that we go move
Now-
forward with an agreement.
So you would know, I would have to sign the time sheet, correct?
I can't remember, you do for all the county employees, so yes, sir, I believe you.
It'd be in that agreement, whatever the agreement is, probably based on.
But the agreement needs to state what the title of that position would be and what the retirement. Is it regular or is it senior management?
That would have to be determined by the board.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we just move forward with the agreement and have David, Nate, and Mr. Major put it together.
Okay, we
Bring
can
it back.
You know, what we need is to be able to offer some benefits to someone that we can hire as
Yeah.
an employee, because we've been using a contractor, and we want to get away from that.
Yeah, I understand.
And, you know, that's the main thing that we're trying to do. So-
That gives us a better working relationship with y'all as well, too. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a motion on the floor.
I
Do we have a
second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? How's the vote?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank y'all very much.
We'll get with you next week.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Could I move up this swap? Just, Mr. Doyle, since you're here, would you consider relaying what y'all consider on the swap for the building here in town, or do you want me to wait and address it under me? Have y'all had discussion about the Gulf building?
Yeah, not more than what we've already talked about.
Okay.
You know what we've already talked about,
Yes, sir.
and what we need to do, and who we need to contact. We got to get some things worked out on the deeds and that kind of thing, so we hadn't
Yes, sir.
got that far, but.
Okay. I was asked to relay it to the
Ben-
board.
I talked to Ben yesterday, and he said that when it come time, that he was ready to get on it and get it done.
Okay. I know there'd been some concern with the board to try to figure out who that next director might be before we enter into more negotiations, but I just didn't, I'll be happy to, I just wanted to yield the floor to you since you were there and
But
represent the board.
I can't
Okay.
say yet who the
Okay.
director will be, because we've just had our interviews, and
Sure.
we're prepared to make an offer, but we don't have an exception yet.
Yes, sir.
So,
Probably the best thing to get a director hired and then come back with it.
Yes, sir. I just would have been remiss without bringing it to y'all for consideration, but
I would like this board to know, I currently have the VA officer staff down there. Y'all do not have no office space. Just want y'all to know that.
All right.
Well, my other thing is, there's a reverter clause. We don't even own the building, the golf power FPL building. I mean, is that even doable?
It would.
And the second thing is, we put FEMA money on that roof. Is that even
That's
doable?
I don't know about the FEMA, the reverter, depending on FPL. FPL wants to play ball, we would just do a deed from us back to FPL, and then FPL would deed to the Development Commission to clean up that covenant. But now the roof, I was not aware of that, Clint, so
Yeah,
I'm not
we
sure.
spent FEMA funds on putting a whole new roof on there, and that
Okay.
becomes another issue at that point. You know, you just need to check into that.
No, you just want to bring it back before us.
we can bring it back later after we get
your
more
director.
information on it.
Yes, sir. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, though. I just.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, and thank y'all very much for this. We are making some changes, just to give a report on the Development Commission. We're making some changes, and we're gonna start doing some things a little bit different, and we'll be bringing y'all some good information, I hope, on what we're doing and what we got coming and that kind of thing. So, look forward to coming back and telling y'all what we're doing.
And Mr. Doyle, I will see you at the next meeting, because they appointed me to be at your meeting, so I'll see you there.
Look forward to seeing you. Thank y'all.
Hate you had to sit so long.
All right, we'll go down to the planning. You got nothing? All right.
He's got nothing.
All right, we'll go down to Liberty Partners. Tim, you got anything else? All right. County engineers, Melvin?
Yes, he's not gonna be here, but he asked Jane to speak, so, he said he pulled up in the parking lot and didn't see nowhere to park.
Make us happy. Make us proud.
Bye-bye, Aaron Brown.
So this is to close out the infrastructure improvements over there at the pilot station, new gas station, and there are the closeout forms in your packet, but it's just kind of a formality. All the inspections have been done and everything's been approved, and this is just wrapping it up for the grant purposes.
That's on the pilot infrastructure closeout.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question first? Mr. Courtney, did y'all get Mr. Chapman satisfied before we close this out?
I called Rod, and he told me to call him if there was a question, so if you'll bear with me, let me get him. I don't know if he got it cleared up. I think he done everything the contractor could do, but let me get him on the line.
I know when I left there yesterday, I really could not see the bare spot because of the standing water.
Yes.
But he said they were supposed to be sod with the agreement that they had, and that's all he said he's just acting for what was agreed on. And I don't want to close this project out and us go off and leave him holding the bag.
Jane, you want to go ahead with the voluntary phase 2?
No, he took that off.
So Jake
took
couldn't
that
be
off.
here this evening, and he asked me to request that be moved to the to the June 16th meeting, please.
Hey, Rod, they got a question, so I got you on speakerphone. What was the question?
Did
Rod,
Mr.
did you ever get Mr. Chapman satisfied out there behind the pilot?
We were back out there a couple different times. He sent me a text this weekend that it was still holding water. But, I mean, we've had a lot of rain. There's a lot of places around holding water.
What about the sod? He told me that y'all agreed on putting sod out, and he said that's all he's wanting. It's just what y'all agreed on, and he said y'all seeded it instead of sod.
Is that correct?
Well, we sodded the ditch, and they run out of sod, said they run out of money, and ended up seeding the other side of the driveway.
Did we promise him sod?
We told him, yes.
Okay.
Do you want to just hold on for the next meeting on this?
It needs to be satisfied, it does. If we told somebody...
What would it, yeah, if we told somebody, what Mr. Wilmer's saying, if we told somebody something, we need to stick to our gun, what would it take to finish the sodding up?
We just have to let the contractor know, that he needs to go back out there and sod it.
Okay. Is that what you want, Mr. Stafford?
Yeah, I just want what they agreed on done.
He wants what they agreed upon.
Okay, sounds good.
So we'll hold up on the closeout then till we hear from you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll go down now to Alderman Hal. Y'all have anything? No. All right, Hanson. All right, County Attorney, Nate.
Yes, sir. I'm going to move the abandonment of that offshoot of Happy Hollow the next meeting. The proposed land swap, we're going to wait for the Development Commission to bring that back to us. Safe Haven Baby Box workshop discussion. I laid the foundation last meeting on the idea of a workshop. I think maybe the next available one that'd be convenient for us would be, well, no, we're moving the next meeting to 6.
Yeah.
Would 5 work for y'all, or is that too much crammed into one?
That's fine.
If it's going to be at BK 8. And Mr. Tadlock will be available, and Kayla will, and they're just going to lay out more information on that project and have, if y'all got any specific questions y'all would like for me to ask between now and then, please send them to me. We'll get them addressed. I've got a few questions myself, but we'll just plan on 5.
Yeah. Are we going to hold that at BK8 at the next meeting?
Yeah, we need to be able tomorrow to call the school to make sure it's not booked.
So we're going to be at 5 o'clock at BK8 then for this special meeting to be there at 6. So we need to put all that in place.
Yeah, James don't call tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow before they open.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
I can't cut the budget on the air conditioner. Looks like I'm going to put a new air conditioner in.
The next item on the agenda for me is this is a resolution for the dissolution of the I-79 Corridor Authority and an assignment assumption of the DO grant agreement. So Washington County has already executed a resolution. I've been working with Mr. Holloway, the attorney for the city. I believe they meet on their next available meeting, but this will resolve the I-79 Corridor Authority. So if it's okay with you, Mr. Chairman, I'll read the heading.
You ready to read on?
Yes, sir. Do you have any questions specifically related to this dissolution agreement? I think it's a win-win for everyone in the city.
I didn't know you were going to do this, Nate. This resolution is holding us no longer, according to what this is saying, is the DEO, Department of Economic Opportunity, and the grant agreement. What grant agreement is G0006?
But again, who's on the board for us?
I am.
Yes, sir.
The only grant I know is the one
Yeah.
between the Washington County Board of County Commissioners.
Yes, sir. Well, we're not liable for any of that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We were never in a grant. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying. Talking to the attorney on the 79 corridor, he said we didn't have to do this because we weren't on the hook for this grant to begin with.
Okay.
This resolution was done between the city and Washington County
I
because
agree.
they were accountable for the grant that had to be transferred.
Okay.
Holmes County was no part of that grant process.
Okay. Well,
I think what he done, he was making him aware of it.
Yeah.
so y'all don't want to approve?
Well, it's
we
not
have no-
necessary because we don't
Okay.
have a grant.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I'm asking you. Do we have a grant agreement, G0006?
Did he say we had to approve
No.
it?
Well, me and Holloway thought it might be in the best consideration just for us to be out of it in a clean break, but I'll bring it back before you all at the next meeting.
But we're not in a grant, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. We are in a authority that's associated with that grant.
To me, this looks like it was a copy and paste for the one they did for Washington County.
Well, it was. We worked
Well,
on the same
this
resolution.
is not us, is what I'm
Okay.
saying. Because we're not in a grant with DEO.
Okay. Well, you're on the board, so we'll just punt, we won't enter into it, and we'll let the chips fall.
Well, I would go back and come back with a different resolution based on us being on that board and part of that corridor, but not part of the grant process.
Do a clean break.
Exactly.
Okay. That'll
You're
work.
gonna bring it back to us next week.
That'll work, yes, sir.
All right. You have anything else?
That's it.
All right, we'll get on to Commissioner's item, Spring Hill Road resurfacing plant, sir.
Yes, sir. So, it's been going on for some time. I've talked to the residents. I think we got some here from Spring Hill Road. We have been looking at different things. When we start looking at money and we start looking about cutbacks, and this is an opportunity that we can look at it. This is up to the board if you guys want to do this. If not, that's understandable. I got them there to speak, for them to speak on behalf of it. What I'm proposing is to get a price to pave Spring Hill Road. Spring Hill Road currently serves, I believe, over 30 occupants. There's a trailer court down that road. That road gets utilized a lot. Not only that road I would like to look at, because I know we paved Sun Lake Road here a while back with a 2-inch overlay. I think it was 18 inches wide, it was 1 mile long, and it was some time ago, maybe a couple of years ago, but you know, you're looking at 100, 120,000. I would like to look at, and I'm not trying to step in your district, Commissioner Johnson, but I would like to look at possibly doing the same thing for Chance Road, because Chance Road's another one that's utilized a lot. If you look at the map, everything south of that, you got Yopon Lane. If you milled asphalt that, you milled asphalt Erman Lane, short roads, graders would no longer have to run south of Highway 90 anymore at that point. Talking about graders, you can actually probably get by with one grader for District 3 and 5. That'd be another monthly expense. Yeah, that's what I talked to both men on both sides, and they both said that. That is a huge plus. I mean, it's something to think about. It's something that really needs to happen down there. That road's getting used a lot. Chance Road's getting beat out a lot. There's just a lot of traffic on it. So my request tonight is to go ahead and get a quote and have them look at those roads and move forward to see about trying to pay for it out of LOGT funding, which we currently have $1 million in there. You can pave those two at a minimal cost if we can. Mill asphalt the other two. You're no longer bringing a grader routinely down on the south of 90 in either district at that point, because after talking to the grader operators, it takes anywhere from a half a day, if not over a half a day, to run those routes on both sides of that. So you would no longer be running those routes on the south end of 90 in that part of town.
You don't think it'd be better with Lime Rock Road?
Well, Lime Rock or Millen or
People
whatever.
out in my district
Yeah.
they hate the Millen
Well,
roads.
the reason why I like milling on a dead-end road is not constantly getting beat out. When you do a short dead-end road versus, and you put Lime Rock like on Long Round Bay Road, it's been nothing but a nightmare. Because people are driving 60, 70 miles an hour, and it's wearing it out. But when on those dead-end roads, it helps a lot. Mr. Chairman, I have Mr. Bobby Paul in here. Do you mind if we hear from him? Mr. Paul, do you mind speaking on the road?
That is the Bobby Paul.
Come on in, sir. Come on in, Mr. Davis. I'm Bobby Paul. I live on Spring Hill Road. I've been there since '95. Mr. Davis, how long have you been there? Since '91. Mr. Davis has been on that same road since '91. Whoever developed Spring Hill Road developed the road wide enough that it could be paved, so you're not having to deal with easements, people's property. With what he's asking for there, the 20-foot wide, it'd be easy done through there. I've been living there since '95. I've seen its ups and I've seen its downs. And then after sitting here and listening to y'all today, what y'all are facing, and here I am asking you to spend some money, you know, in the long run, I feel like it's going to save money. Okay? There is 20 landowners in there. There's over 30 residents in there. And those 30 residents got at least 2 cars. Some of them's got 3. Some of them got kids that go in and out. Okay, so, and we all just about, I know everybody that lives on that road just about can tell you their name except the people who live in the trailer park, which is right next to me. And that's in and out, on and off all the time. It's my understanding that the trailer park got approved by the county to be put in. It's my understanding that it's the county's responsibility to help keep that road up. I think maybe if we could spend this money to pave this, it would cut down on the use of the grader, cut down on the use of the employee that takes to grade it. I think it'd just be a savings, money savings all the way around. I talked to you.
You did.
Way back out. I'm not looking for an IT road through there. I'm looking for a Sun Lake Drive. Something like Sun Lake Drive or some of these others that they actually, Pipkin Road is the same way. Washington County come through Pipkin Road, done the same thing. And the short places that run off of this road, milled asphalt, because I drove through them the other day and there's a mud hole in one of them. But you've got a property boundary on each side there that would affect that if you try to pave it. But I measured it, and it's 1 mile and 1/10 through there from where it comes in on Spring Hill, and it goes out on Lee Road on the other end at 173.
But there's still permit associated with this.
I don't see any. I think it's all y'all's.
Yeah, you got the permit. You can't come in there and just pave down a dirt road without permit. I mean, you can't, you got the, what do they call it? It's a 95,
There is an exemption.
it's an exemption. But you've got to file it, right? You've got to get this
You
exemption.
really don't have to do much.
You don't have to.
As long as you're just paving the minimum width that's required for the Florida Green Book, you're allowed to pave.
Yeah, you don't have to.
So without, what about the DEP requirements on the, what is it, 1 inch or ½ inch you got to retain?
Not for your local government, you know.
Well, we did. I tell you, we did.
Not if they're already established county roads and you just pave them, you just add blacktop.
It's a resurface project, you don't have to pay them. We paved all the other ones, Stewart's Mill Road, we paved them all.
And I'd love to see the road paved. I would.
FEMA required it.
The first one was, there was another young fellow in there that left.
Oh, the brick house on the round on the right?
No, so for,
Yes. When did y'all get there, you remember? 86. There you go. The road's been there since before 86.
Could all the ones that live on that road stand up so we can just have an idea? Okay, that was just some of them.
Yes, you can.
Just state your name, please, and your area.
Y'all consider, see what it costs to pave it. And if it's in the money budget, we can do it. Try to get it done.
Thank you, guys. You sit down.
I'll be super quick. My name is Ashley Rudd, and I have lived on Spring Hill the majority of my life. My parents moved there in '86. I was 2 years old. And I just want to touch on a few quick things real quick. The first being that, as he mentioned, he thought that it could be cost saving. No disrespect, but it does take a little while to get a grader out there. And by the time the grader gets out there and grades the road, it's raining again, and it is completely pointless because we are back in the same situation. And so, and I know that probably happens everywhere on dirt roads, and it is what it is. But if that's something that if we can pave it, hit it the nail on the head, and keep a grader from having to go out there constantly, if it's cost saving, then if that's something that we can do, that would be. I don't see why we wouldn't try and make that. Another thing is that the road washes out, especially right in front of my property, and the ditch is washed out. The water does not flow under my driveway, under the culvert. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if I was supposed to do this, but I hired my 14-year-old nephew to come out and dig out because I haven't been able to get anyone out there to do it. And so it's going to mess up my driveway, and it's washing out the bank on my property. So, I mean, we're having to get out there and do it ourselves. So if you'll just consider that. Thank you.
Thank you.
One other thing, Mr. Ellenberg, you said lime rock. It's under the curb. It's already there.
Yeah, there's already a base on that road. And that road was scheduled to be paved when we were doing the FEMA paving, and, you know, of course, we ran out of money, and that's one of the roads that got all the base.
Coming on Spring Hill Road?
Mhm. They got all the base done.
You're talking about the other side roads, though, or something
Yeah,
about.
all the other side roads, yeah, you were talking about putting
Lime rock on
it
it,
instead
yeah.
of
People,
mill.
I'm telling you, people in my district, they do not.
Well,
like
those
mill
side roads
roads.
are so small. I mean, they're just very small roads, so I don't know. But I just want to bring this to the board. I want to go ahead and make a motion to get a price on Chance Road and Spring Hill and come back to the board and see what we can do. That's my motion.
So you're just getting prices right now?
Yeah, and come back.
Okay.
and
I say
Come back. All right, we'll have a motion in a second. Any discussion? How's the vote?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I wanna just be clear, when I do the checking, I have to call a contractor to do a 2-inch overlay, non-engineered, 1.1 miles hot mix road.
Yeah.
And there'll be a mobilization fee for them to set up, right, John? They charge you a mobilization fee to set up?
All depends who you get, David.
Yeah. Okay.
If you find some-
I got one in the area right now. That's what I'm talking about.
So we will schedule to be back on the agenda. I'll let all of you know so you can be back, and we'll see what we're at.
I have no doubt what it'll cost, but that'd be.
You're most good, John.
So moved. Got it. Good little meat. Come on out there, brother, meat.
You guys got some meat?
Yeah.
Elevator one.
It was a good night.